Hi everyone, Chet B. Adams, author of the book Speen here, and I wanted to share another story with you. Um, this one is about my father, and my father was a counselor, and he ended up using drugs with some of his clients, and eventually he ended up just going back to using drugs altogether. He lost his career and he died of a cocaine overdose. And I was at an AA meeting uh, years ago, and there was this old guy who came up to me and said that there was a job opening at one of the local rehabs for a counselor. And I was like, well, I don't want anything. No, thanks, buddy. Right. A couple of days later, I went to that meeting again, and that old guy was there, and he said to me, "Have you applied for that job?" And I was like, uh, "No." And a couple more days went by, and I was at that meeting again, and there's that old guy comes up to me and says, "Have you interviewed for that job yet?" I was like, "No, I thought I told you that I didn't want to do that." And so I left that meeting and I thought, you know what, there might be something to this. This guy bugging me about this. So I decided to go check it out. I went to that rehab and I filled out an application. And then they interviewed me right there. And then after the interview, they said they had to do a second interview. So they got a couple of staff members together and they interviewed me as well. And then after that, they offered me the job, like all in the space of a day. And I was like, I'm going to have to take some time to think about this. And so I went back to that meeting to that old guy because I couldn't wait to see him now. I was like, you know what? I did. And so when I saw him, I told him, I got an offer. And he said, um, are you going to take it? And I was like, why have you been bugging me about this? He said, well, I used to have 12 years of recovery and then I relapsed. And after my relapse, I went to see a counselor. And that counselor talked me into coming back into recovery. And that counselor was your father, my father. And I thought, I am going to take this job and I am going to do this thing. And so that's the story of how I became a counselor, which I've now been doing for about 30 years. And I really enjoy the work that I do. Thank you.